In 2019, heterosexuality is just not working.
Don't worry about the language. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back to another edition of Muzzy Buzz. So for those of you that have been following, you can tell that we've got a very different video quality today. And that is because I was able to finally figure out how to set up my Canon EOS 80D. So thank you everybody that helped me and, sent me emails and tweeted at me on Twitter. You guys helped me a lot, so thank you so much for that. So we've got some new equipment, and now I think our video content will be pretty good. So aside from that, I got 100 subscribers, so now I'm able to get my custom URL, which is www.youtube.com/c/muzzybuzz. Now I need 1,000 more subscribers so that I can go live on YouTube mobile. And I think that would be a great idea. I think it's fantastic. And I think you guys would enjoy my content while I'm on the go. And I think it'll be really fun and really energetic. And I think you guys should definitely help me get that done. I think it'll be great. And I hope you guys will. Tell everybody you know, tell your friends on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, wherever they are. Tell them to sign up because we're going to be making a lot of new videos and we're going to be sharing a lot of different content. So with that out of the way, let's go into the title of the video. Heterosexuality is not working in 2019. What happened to Mort? Am I going liberal? Have I gone all the way to the left? Am I advocating for homosexuality now? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, what we're doing is I'm quoting an article. And here's the article on NBCnews.com, and it's on the op-ed section. And the title is Miley Cyrus split up with Liam Hemsworth isn't celebrity gossip, it's a blow to the patriarchy. And it says, women like Cyrus are speaking out about sexuality in ways that put the power and responsibility back into their own hands. Let's read through a few articles here, passages from the article here so that we can kind of put everything into context, okay? Over the past week, an assortment of trending stories from Jeffrey Epstein and the Dayton and El Paso mass shooters to Miley Cyrus's separation and Julianne Hughes' declaration that she's not straight, together have laid bare the strictures of an American patriarchy on the edge of a nervous breakdown. As the status quo, heterosexuality is just not working. As a snapshot of 2019 America, these stories present a startling picture. Men continue to coerce, harass, rape, and kill girls and women and go to extreme lengths to avoid responsibility for their actions. On the other side of the issue, girls and women are challenging heterosexuality and even absconding from it altogether. Framed differently, the picture is this. Men need heterosexuality to maintain their societal dominance over women. Women, on the other hand, are increasingly realizing not only that they don't need heterosexuality, but that it is also often the bedrock of their global oppression. Patriarchy is at its most potent when oppression doesn't feel like oppression, or when it is packaged in terms of biology, religion, or basic social needs like security, comfort, acceptance, and success. Heterosexuality offers women all these things as selling points to their consensual subjection. So this is really interesting because now what we find is the writer is saying that all of the problem of women, that all the problems they're seeing today is basically the fault of heterosexuality. So meaning that women suffering rape and, abuse and, different pay scales and all this stuff is all the fault of heterosexuality. Now, I have a lot of problems with this because I think from the very get-go, this is a very silly argument. But I'm going to get into some of the reasons why I feel that. So let's first start with the idea of heterosexuality, right? If you talk to the left and people like the individual that wrote this article, if you ask them about homosexuality, they will tell you that homosexuality is not a choice, meaning that individuals are born biologically to be attracted to the same gender. And if I were to accept that premise, then let me also apply that to heterosexuality, right? If the homosexual doesn't have a choice, the heterosexual doesn't have a choice in who he is attracted to or she is attracted to, right? So how can we blame all of these problems on women, on heterosexuality or heterosexual males? It makes absolutely no sense. And by the way, heterosexuals are not only males, they're also females, right? So are heterosexual females also contributing to the patriarchy? I don't really think it makes sense, right? The other thing is that I don't think the writer thought about this, but it should have occurred to the writer that she is a product of two heterosexuals having sex. And had it not been for that relationship, the writer would never have been born. So to target heterosexuality and say that is the problem of everything is really a scapegoat, right? I mean, if you have a problem with the patriarchy and all these things, there are also homosexual men that also support the patriarchy, right? I'm sure you can find them. I'm sure you can also find homosexual women that support a patriarchy. Does that mean now that homosexuality is also a reason to blame for the patriarchy? I mean, it's complete nonsense. And this is one of the ways the left has gone completely off base, and they pull up these crazy ideas, and they're trying to basically tell people that they should embrace homosexuality because that is the future, and that's how we're going to progress as a species based on equality, and somehow homosexuality is going to be the sexual preference that advances equality for human beings, right? So even when I say that, I just think about it and I'm thinking about how silly that sounds. But this is the kind of nonsense that is coming out of the left. But there is another portion of the article that I want you guys to take a look at, and that is essentially this part. In the Women's Health September cover story, Hugh, an actress and Dancing with the Stars champion, describes her personal transformation, which included delayering all the survival tactics I've built up my whole life. One of these survival tactics, she says, meant connecting to the woman inside that doesn't need anything, versus the little girl that looked up to my husband to protect me. She voices concern that her husband will respond negatively to this newfound self-sufficiency. I was like, is he going to love this version of me? But the more I dropped into my most authentic self, the more attracted he was to me. Now we have a more intimate relationship. Part of the intimacy entailed telling her husband that she was not straight, but had chosen to be with him. This is an inspirational statement because it offers a new model for women to enter into heterosexual relationships with men that redefines the power dynamic. I think there is a safety with my husband now, and I'm unpacking all of this. Hugh continues, and there's no fear of voicing things that I've been afraid to admit or that I've had shame or guilt about because of what I've been told or how I was raised. So this is also pretty interesting because now it's saying that in order for women to control men, they have to tell men that they are homosexuals so that the man doesn't have his dominance as a heterosexuality. So basically telling men, in other words, hey, I don't need you. I can go have sex with a woman and I can get my sexual desires from them, so I don't really need you for sex anymore or anything, so you basically mean nothing to me. I'm basically choosing you when I want to choose you, and if I decide not to choose you today, too bad, because I've always been attracted to women, and you know that, right? So too bad. You should have known that from the beginning, that I wasn't really attracted to men. I just kind of chose you because I felt like it, and that, essentially, if I ever go back to a woman, you should have known that from the beginning because, you just weren't cutting it. Do you see how stupid that sounds? I mean, imagine if a man said that. A man said, you know what? I'm not really attracted to you as a woman. I just, chose you at this moment. But, there's women out there that I find more attractive. But I just chose you. So if I cheat on you, if I go somewhere else, don't get mad because you should already know that. So that's my power now, right? That's my power over you, right? Meaning that you don't really mean that much to me. And I kind of had to choose you for myself in that moment. But then again, my choices could change, depending on who I see or what I hear or my mood in that day or anything else under the sun, right? So you can imagine how stupid that sounds, right? If I told that to a woman, she would call me a sexist and say, you are objectifying women, right? You're a player. You are an evil man, right? But yet now a woman can say that in different contexts and somehow it's empowering of women. Right? What is empowering about belittling another human being? If you have to belittle another human being, man or woman, in order to feel empowered, then there's something definitely wrong with you and you are sick and twisted in the head. And I believe that some of these extreme leftist people are sick in the head. They're advocating women to tell their husbands that they're not really attracted to them and they're not heterosexuals, that they are homosexuals, and that basically they really don't need them for anything. Now, I don't know what you guys, how you guys feel about this, but for me, I think this is what causes the extreme right, like the Proud Boys and other people, to rally and protest. This is how these groups come about, right? There is an extreme left ideology that is basically telling women flat out that you don't need men anymore. And so naturally, people all the way on the right are going to react to this, right? And so this is what is happening. I feel like if they really want to have a balanced approach, they should talk about the issues that are affecting women and not blame all these side issues, right? Let's talk about what the real issues are, and we can talk about if those are really issues to be talked about and who to blame for them, right? Not all these issues that women are facing are the fault of men. Just like not every single issue men are facing are the fault of women. If you really want to get to the core issues and solve the problem, you have to be honest about what the problem is and be honest about what the solution really is. Anyways, that is my thought about this whole article and topic in general. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you guys think that the writer of this article was correct and that maybe women should embrace homosexuality over heterosexuality. And let me know maybe if they were completely wrong and you agree with me, or what maybe I'm completely wrong and maybe I said something wrong and you guys want to correct me. Feel free to comment and let me know. The article will be posted down in the description, as well as you can tweet at me on Twitter, MortTMM, that is my handle, at MortTMM on Twitter, and you can share your thoughts with me. So until next time, stay well and, make sure that you guys do all the right things and don't go too far off to the left and don't go too far out to the right. Make sure you kind of have a middle ground, and that will be the best approach to life in general, the moderate middle way without going extreme. So that is it for this video. This has been another Muzzy Buzz show. So we will catch you on the next show, inshallah. We'll see you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Muzzy Buzz, Muzzy Buzz, Muzzy Buzz, Muzzy Buzz, Muzzy Buzz, Muzzy Buzz.